Hello. This tuned in here. How are you? My name is Sarah, aka the Mill Coach, and I am in Florida today. I'm actually in the Orlando area, and we're here because it's a really big day for one of our friends. Hey, in 58, how are you? So yeah, we're here in Orlando because our good friend Donald the Cowboy Cerrone is going to be fighting for a world championship in the UFC. And I think it's amazing because it's a huge goal, right? And it's here, like today is the day. Hey, Lake Mate 1200, how are you? So yeah, we're here tonight. We're gonna go to the arena and we're gonna watch him win a shiny new amazing belt. Some epic shit right there, right? And so I just wanted to jump on. I've got a down moment before the fun ensues. And so I just wanted to talk about breath. So how are you doing with breath? Well, for me, I know that it's a thing that really can transform my life, right? And it's about those times when you're having a really rough day. Hey, Drew Dop, how are you? Like, I get really frustrated. Sometimes I get really frustrated at my husband or at the dog or my children or something. And if I can just take that moment and have that space between the stimulus and the response, and you take that moment to just breathe, it's amazing how different the outcome can be, because if I just let that stimulus happen in that response, I can be like brutal, right? I might, give feedback that's not really nice. Like my compassion can be, in the shitter, if you will. But if I take that time to really just breathe deeply, it's amazing. Thank you for that heart. Hey, how are you? Thanks for joining in. And yesterday I went to a Bikram yoga class, right? There was one just like a mile from our hotel, and I have been to hot yoga, but I'd never been to a Bikram hot yoga class. Have you guys done some hot yoga? Oh my God. I'm a little bit sore today actually. But the guy, as the teacher, he said, you know what, your number one goal is to just stay in the room. Just stay in the room and focus on your breath. Hey, good vibes. Heck yeah, thank you. We need good vibes, right? We need our buddy to win this belt today. It's gonna be a good deal. So anyway, as I was at the hot yoga, he said, just stay in the room. And so for like the first 20 minutes, no big deal, right? First 30 minutes, I was doing all right. But this was a 90-minute class, right? And I'm usually into like the 60-minute yoga class, but 90 minutes. Hey, Johnny from the UK, good to see you. Do you do hot yoga? Right? And so I was doing well, and then all of a sudden I hit this wall. I was like, this sucks. This is hard. My body hurts, and this room is hot. I mean, I was sweating like nobody's business. The country accent. I didn't know I had a country accent. So yeah, I'm sweating, I'm dying, and I'm thinking, I just want to get out of this room. Maybe even just like a cool bit of breeze on my face. Something like that would feel, amazing. But I needed to just stay in the room, right? I kept focusing in on that word, like stay. And the thing that helped me stay was breath, right? That in through your nose, and you can do it out through your nose, or you can actually, do the mouth breathing, whatever you want. But it was just like this, as long as you can focus on your breath, you can do anything, right? I have 2 kids. I've got a 3.5-year-old daughter and an 18-month-old son. And when I went in to have my son, I was 100% sold on the fact that I was going to have another epidural, because I'd had one with my daughter and it was wonderful. So we got there. You could listen to my accent all day. Well, that's really sweet. Thank you. Anyway, I get to the hospital and I'm thinking, all right, let's get this thing moving. And they said, all right, they ordered the anesthesiologist guy to come up and give me the epidural. And by the time he got there, they checked me and they're like, you can't have an epidural. And I was like, what the... Yeah, I like swore up and down all in that room, and they were like, no, you're ready to push. You get no epidural. And so what did I have to do? Well, first, I had to like wrap my mind around the fact that I was gonna like have a baby without an epidural. But then it was like, all right, breathe, baby, breathe. Where am I from? I'm actually from Colorado. I was born and raised in Idaho, southeastern Idaho. Then I spent about 7 years in Phoenix, and now I live in the Denver area. And so this idea like, oh my God, I've got to do this crazy thing. I'm going to have a baby without an epidural. It was like breathe, right? And so, yeah, it was a tough deal. And then the other day I found myself, I was getting really frustrated at a situation, right? And it was like, okay, Sarah, stop, stimulus is shitty, right? The response, it could be immediate, you're a dickhead, right? Or it could be, whew, let's just breathe. Thanks for the info. You're really cool. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it's amazing. Like we get into this pace of crazy busy, right? These situations pop up. I was on the airplane on Thursday and we were delayed an hour, like waiting for the de-icer. And so, you know, we're going to be late. There's screaming babies. My chair is getting kicked. And by the time we got to Florida, I was hangry. I was pissed off. And it was like, breath. Right? So when you get crazy busy, when you're in these crazy situations where all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I'm going to freak out. It's just that moment of opportunity to say, all right, I've got everything that I need to handle this shit if I can just breathe. You can stay in the hot yoga room. You can have a baby. You cannot freak out at the airport. Right? You can do whatever just by focusing on your breath. Right? You're awesome. Thank you, sweetie. That is super sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, you know, I think I work with a lot of people. I am a coach. I work with millennials who want to do epic shit. And it's amazing, like, you know, we'll get into a session and people have a lot to say. There's a lot going on. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know, I feel like I'm overwhelmed. I've got all this, you know, these deadlines that are pressing. Hey, but if you can just, again, take that moment to choose to not just react to that stimulus and to create some of that space with the response and just connect with breath, wow, it's like the whole world changes. There you go. So I want you to consider that as you go through your day today and you come to that point where maybe you're not feeling inspired. Maybe you're dealing with a shitty situation. Maybe you're in rush hour traffic and it sucks. You know, maybe your kids are driving you crazy or whatever it is. You're welcome. Just focus on that breath. Right? If you've got something creative that you need to do today, my challenge to you is to sit and just focus on breath before you actually move into that activity, whatever it is, whether it's, you know, going to work out, or if it's going to sit down and do some journaling, or if you're going to go and meet with family because you've got a holiday thing going on. Just sit in your car, sit in your bedroom, sit in the bathroom, wherever you are, and just do something to connect with breath, right? So let's do some breathing, right? And it's so simple, and it's amazing how much clarity you're gonna get, how your heart rate will drop, and you're just gonna feel a little bit more like yourself, right? So do you wanna join me in some breath? Tap your screen, yeah, because breath is good, right? We're alive, and that is also a cool thing. Like when you're breathing, you're like, my body has everything that I need to be successful. I just need only tap into it. Thank you for those hearts. That's what I love. Thank you, thank you. And so let's just go ahead and take that deep breath in and open mouth out, wherever you are. And do it again. Be audible with that exulting, like, I'm getting all that breath out, right? The air smells so badly in here. I'm sorry to hear that. Right? Essential oils. I love essential oils. Helps, like, you know, bring some goodness in. So carry some of those around with you. You can whiff that. Right? So it just feels nice, right? So start your day, middle of your day, end your day, throughout the day. Don't just go through and do that unconscious breath. Get really focused around it. And as you breathe, feel that gratitude that you're here today to actually do the breathing, right? That's pretty freaking awesome, right? You've been gifted this day, and you've got a lot of inner wisdom. Right? I believe that your heart and your spirit, they have all the answers, but you just have to shut this off, right? And how do you help to quiet the mind? It's with some breath, right? Hey, Cascades, where are you from? I'm broadcasting here from Orlando. It's a great day. It's actually kind of cold. I was hoping that it would be a little warmer because I came from like 12 degrees in Denver. And so being in Orlando, I was hoping for, you know, like hotness, and it's not. So I'm a little sad about that. From Turkey, all right. So yeah, I'm not really excited that it's not, you know, swimming suit weather, because I could be laying by the pool right now. But anyway, it is a beautiful day. It's sunny. And like I said, my friend is gonna win a UFC belt tonight. So it's amazing. It'll warm up. It's the first cool day in a long time. Are you here? Are you in Florida, in Orlando perhaps? Yeah. So yeah, tonight I'm going to be at the UFC fights. If you are in Orlando and you're going to be around, I live right near SeaWorld. Like, we're right out by there. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so we're going to be down at the Amway Center, I think is what it's called. And it's going to be a really nice time. And, you know, since he's going to win, it's going to be just a huge party. And we're going to have to do some deep breathing before the fight because it's going to be one of those tension-filled, like, oh my gosh, this is some epic shit. Yeah. How old am I? I am 38. Yeah, wahoo is right. Absolutely. Woke up this morning and I texted, I was like, this is the day. It's awesome. You know, and on a whole nother side note, like, breathing is great, but I think that it's also neat to see, thank you for that comment, that I look great for 38. I'm going to embrace that. Good for my ego. But it's just great to see people who are committed. They've got, you know, this big freaking dream, right? They've got this big dream that they're going to win a world title. Right? And then to see the action. And I've talked a lot about, you know, how I see Donald be successful. And it's because he wakes up every day and it's about living a life that he loves, right? It's about showing up and doing the work, whether you feel like you need to do that work that day or not. Like, you got to work out, and maybe not just once a day, maybe it's twice a day. And so, no, not Donald Trump. No, Donald Cerrone, the cowboy. We're talking UFC fighting. And you know, he absolutely loves it. And when he's not, you know, training, he is actually having like an amazing adventure-filled life, right? He goes wakeboarding, he goes mountaineering, he goes 14er climbing with us, he goes all of, you know, he just lives. My energy is contagious. Isn't that cool? Like, don't you want to be around people that have that kind of energy, that are doing epic shit, that aren't just sitting in that woe is me lifestyle of, well, I can't because of all of these other things that are happening. I do talk so fast. Yes, that's right. That's right. I should be your alarm clock. You know, it's easy. Like, I'm totally inspired, right, by being around people who quit making excuses, people who, you know, just get up and they move into action, people who aren't afraid to fail, right? People who think that they can do really big shit, right? So do you think you can do big shit? Because if you think you can, you will. You're saying so true things. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really believe it at the core, right? It's, you know, I think that Donald absolutely has the physical prowess to really kick some ass, right? Because just physically, he was built to be a kickboxer, a fighter, right? Thank you. You guys are so sweet. But it's the mind that matters most, like that mindset of, I know that I can, right? And I will, right? I can do epic shit. I have what it takes to go and do things that other people aren't doing, right? So, like, top elite athlete in the world, like, you've got to have that mind that I can do it. So if you're like, you're thinking of this dream and you're like, maybe I can, you're not, right? You sound like DJ Khaled's new trend. Ooh, tell me more. Haven't heard of him. What do I need to know? So yeah, you've got to believe that you can. You know, that think you can, think you can't, either way you're right. It is so freaking true. He's out there making inspirational videos now. It's so funny. Hey, you know, I think that if you've got a platform, you should do good, right? So if this DJ is out there making inspirational videos, then that's freaking awesome, right? Because the world is ugly. There's a lot of shit that happens. And so if we can be a bright light and share a message that might make somebody think different things today, then why wouldn't you do it, right? So you've got to believe, you've got to breathe, right? Connect with the things that are you, those gifts, those talents, those passions, those abilities, and just kick some ass and just move into action. You know, if you make a mistake, that's just a mistake. It means you were learning. How did I become a coach? She's crazy. Yeah. Do I drink coffee in the morning? I do. I do drink a little bit of coffee. I've had maybe a cup and a half. I became a coach. My career path was in the training world. I worked in leadership development, and it was all about people, right? And helping them be successful. And then I went and I ran a women's organization, and it was, you know, again, all about how do you engage people to actually show up and do the work. And as I continued to really get clear on what my talents and gifts are, it's about coaching. I've been a coach unofficially my entire life, right? And that energy piece that somebody was talking about, like, people want to be around people that feel good, right? And so my desire to like help people rock and do epic shit, and just that compassion, and like, I think that everybody can do good things, and just the fact that I think the world needs it, like it was a no-brainer for me. My husband thought that I was like losing my freaking mind when I said I'm going to quit my executive job and start working for myself as a coach. You guys are sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But now he's like, oh, well, she's doing what her heart needs. And like, the people that I work with are amazing. You make me want to be a coach. Well, let's be coaches together, right? I believe that like there's this abundance mentality, right? We're better together, and we all have cool things to bring. And so freaking bring it to the table. And if you're holding back, you are like, you're not serving the world like you should, right? You're not serving the world like you should. So again, that belief that you can, that mindset, that breath, that connection with the shit that you have that nobody else does, you've got to just bring it. Positive attitude goes a long way. Absolutely does. Right? You know, if you want to see negative, you can see negative everywhere, in your partner, in your work, with your life, right? Or you can choose to see the good shit. And, you know, some people will say, well, you're just Pollyanna, Jana. Or, you know, Pollyanna. But you know what? It's true. Right? If you just want to focus on crap in, crap out. Right? Thank you for the hearts. Heck yes. But if you truly want to change and make a difference in the world, you've got to see the good, right? You've just got to. And it's easy if you try, right? And I'll tell you, it's easier to see the shit if you let yourself. Focusing on the chapter gets you nowhere. Right? You've got on the crap. Yes, focusing on the crap. But how many people do? Like, go and just look at your Facebook feed for a while, right? And how much negativity is there, right? If we could flip that script and notice more when we're moving into that woe is me, I like to call it the Eeyore syndrome, and say, okay, actually, I just had that shitty thought. I'm going to now try to figure out how can I flip that, right? Your whole aspect changes. I was on a webinar, and I may have talked about this the other day. Viktor Frankl, he was in the Nazi internment camps, and he is famous. He wrote a book called The Man's Search for Meaning. And he was having all these horrible things happening to him with the Nazis, you know, they're doing all these horrible tests. And he could have chosen to give up, right? Or he could have gone with that vision, which he did, to say he saw himself lecturing to his students, right? And telling them about these experiences, and knowing that there is that space between the stimulus and the response and that choice, right? And that you can truly do things that will... that are in your control, to like see the good, right? And knowing that there's going to be a positive that comes out of whatever negative situation there is. So yeah, you can be frustrated and fuck this and I hate this and, you know, this world sucks and I'm just going to be shitting on everybody. Or you could choose to say, you know what, that was something that happened and I'm going to be forward focused on really great things. I love you too. Ah. You guys are sweet. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share today, is just focus on your breath. Focus on those things that you've been given. I just love how real you are. Thank you, right? And that's what people like, right? You want authenticity. We don't want produced things. We don't want edited things. You just want to be straight off the cuff. You are who you are, and that is a beautiful thing. We get into trouble when we start trying to be like everybody else, right? We start saying, ooh, that was kind of cool. How could I, you know, be that way? Hey, from Florida, Fort Myers. I'm up in Orlando today. So yeah, I think we really get, you know, screwed up. And there's so much feedback in society that tells us to be like everybody else. And I think that we've got to say, I don't think so. I'm going to be me. There's value in being me. My gifts, my talents, my passions matter, and they were given to me for a reason, and I just need to do them. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah, I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to take a deep breath in and out, and I just want you to blow out some breath that's warrior energy. Warrior energy for my friend Donald, who is going to kick some ass in the UFC tonight and win a belt. So hopefully tonight at about 8 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to be periscoping live with the new UFC champion. So in, warrior breath out. Let's watch him go and kick some ass and do some epic shit. And then we're all gonna turn around and do our own epic shit, right? Right? Tap that screen if you're gonna do some epic shit, right? You're gonna have a positive attitude. You're gonna connect with your breath today. It's gonna be beautiful, right? So I thank everybody for giving me some of your time today. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, and check back later. I'm gonna be broadcasting with the new world champion. Yeah, so you guys have a beautiful rest of your day.